So welcome you all in the today's lecture of digital signal processing. So in the last lecture we have started about polyphase decomposition of the decimation and interpolation. Okay, so your decimation was simply the pre-filter passed by a downsampler, right? So this was the decimation process, and this was an interpolation process. So this will be M if I write it as general term. So this will be L. So this was upsampler by a factor of L, and then you pass through a filter that will remove the replicas. So this will be this is decimation and this is interpolation. So we saw that how a decimation can be implemented using a polyphase structure. So polyphase structure says that you can do this particular decimation operation by dividing the filter coefficients into the polyphase components, right? So depending on M, so I'll just rewrite it as P0 of M, P0, or let me write it a general equation, that would be fine actually. Okay, so H of Z was simply Z to the power of minus I, P I Z to the power of M, where I is going from 0 to M minus 1. So this was actually the polyphase implementation of this decimation, and same is implementable for the interpolation. Okay, and we saw an example also for the two component polyphase decomposition, and the last we saw some building blocks, right? So we can interchange actually some of the components, right? So for example, you can interchange a decimation and a multiplier, right? Or when you are adding two signals, and that decimating is equivalent to first decimate both the signals and then add it, right? And same was for multiplication. So the question is that by using these tricks, and how can we basically deal with mathematical analysis, as well as which will be resultant into the more efficient implementation. Okay, so there are some noble identities. So first I will write it as the decimation identity. So decimation identity says that you can interchange a decimator block okay, so you can interchange the decimator block. Okay, but interchanging it you have to be very careful. Okay, so when you pass a signal x of n to which you want to downsample, okay, or decimate, and this will be your y of n. Okay, so this is equivalent to first passing through the filter and then downsample it. So let's say that this is, so is it same? Right now it is not same. When it will be same? When this filter Z will change to Z to the power M. Now it is same. Okay, this identity is same. So this is the decimation identity. So first of all we have to prove it. Are they really same or not? Okay, so there are two ways to prove it. Okay, so you can prove this in time domain as well as in Z domain. Okay, so first let me prove it in time domain. Okay, so in time domain, so let's take first system, this is second system. So first take first system. So for first system, let's call this output as W of n here, okay, which is nothing but x of nm, okay. So y of n in time domain can be written as W of n convolved with h of n, okay, or we can write it as convolution sum. So that is x of h of k W of n minus k, where limit is for k, okay. So what is your W n minus k? That is x of nm. Just substitute that. So when you substitute that, what you get is x of n minus k times m. Is that fine? Okay, this will be the output. Because what I did actually, I just replaced n by n minus k is replaced by, so W of n minus k is just replaced by W of n minus k times m, okay. Just x, so this will be x, right? Now for the second system, what will be the output? So to do that, let's define the output here as V of n, okay. So what will be first of all the filter? If I go back and show you, the filter is now h z, not z, it's z to the power m, okay. Z to the power m means, how it will be z to the power m? When this filter, we can equate it to another filter, let's say z of z, where z of z is equal to h of z to the power m. So what will be the z of n? If I compute it, z of n in time domain will be, what is happening actually? Z to the power m, okay. That means here we can say that in time domain you are interpolating it by a factor of m, okay, by a factor of m. So when we interpolate, what will be the equation? Whatever the hn is given to us, that is replaced by h m by n by m, provided n by m should be an integer, otherwise it is 0, okay. So what will be the Zn? So what will be the Zn in this case? Okay. So what will be the Zn? So Zn will be h of, what was that? Just go back and yeah. So Gn was h n by m, right? So let me write it here. So Gn is h n upon m, okay. So what will be the Vn, which is the output of filter? That will be xn convolved with g of n, okay. So if you write in the form of convolution sum, so this will be g of l x of n minus l, and this is your l, okay. So we can rewrite it as in the form of h, okay. So what is g of l? So gl of l will be h of l by m, and if l by m I can rewrite it as replace it by k, okay. So l is replaced by km, okay. So it will be simply n minus km, where limit is for k. This will be the intermediate output, okay. Now what we have to do then? We have to pass through a decimator, okay. So what will be y of n? Y of n will be v of nm. So v of n we have, just replace n by nm. So we will get h of k x of n minus k times m. Okay, so if you compare it with the, let me write it as equation b, and if I compare it with equation a, you see both a and b are same. So this is proved in time domain. Now we can prove this in frequency domain or a z domain as well. So let me prove it in z domain. So if I prove it in z domain, so what will be the output? So W of m, let me write it as m, or n, let me write it as n itself. So W of n, what will be the W of n? That was x of nm. Okay, so W of z in z domain, it will be 1 upon m summation I equals to 0 to m minus 1. We know that when we decimate it equivalently in z domain, what will happen? Z power will become z to the power 1 by m, right? So it will be 1 by m. Okay, 1 by m multiplied by, sorry, yeah, so nm is, I think, fine. Okay, yeah, there is one more factor which will come here. Yeah, so one more factor will come here, that is W of m I. Okay, why it will come? Can anybody tell why it will come? Because when we decimate it in time domain, so in frequency domain, what will happen? I just prove it. So there is a factor of W which will come. Okay, because W is what? It is nothing but exponential term. So that will always come. So I have proved it in the last lecture, in the first lecture when I introduced decimation. Okay, so this factor will additionally come. Now, what will be the y of z? So y of z will be, if I go back and show you what is y of z. So y of z will be h of z multiplied by W of g. So let me write it as yeah, so this will be h of z multiplied by W of z. Okay, so please please note that this W and this W is not same. Okay, this is a twiddle factor. Okay, please keep that in mind. Okay, now just substitute the value. So if I substitute the value of Wz, so this will be h of z multiplied by 1 upon m summation I equals to 0 to m minus 1 x of z to the power 1 upon m Wm to the power of I. Okay, is it clear? Okay, that's fine. Okay, I think there should be some minus here. Yeah, there should be minus here, that is missing here. Okay, so a total factor was e to the power minus j 2 pi upon capital N, right? So that capital M here, right? So that factor minus will come here, right? That is correct. Now this is the first output. So let me first output, right? And let me call it as A. So what will happen to the second identity? So what was the name? Intermediate output was v of z. So that was simply h of z to the power m multiplied by x of z. So and y of z was the decimated one. So decimation you are doing later. So this will be I equals to 0 to m minus 1. This will be v of z to the power 1 by m wm to the power of minus I. Okay, just substitute the value of vz. So that will be 1 upon m summation I equals to 0 to m minus 1. That will be h of z. Okay, m will cancel, m and 1 by m will cancel, so it will remain with z, and then that is w of m minus I x of z to the power 1 by m w of m I. So this will be the output from second stage identity. If I just compare it with the previous one, are they same? So they are not same. What is the change right now? So if I show you, okay, so hz is outside here, okay, and this separate factor was there, w of z. Other things are same. X factor is same. So x is 1 by m, z to the power 1 by m, w of m of minus I. So that factor is same. Okay. Now how can we make this factor outside? Okay. So how can we do that? Okay. So to do that, what we can do, since there is a power of I here, okay, so when I solve this particular thing, so this will be z times w of m, and I is going from where to where? I is going from 0 to m minus 1. Okay. When we substitute here z at the place of z, okay, yeah, we missed one more term here. There should be m here also, right? Because we have this index will be shifted here. Okay, so this whole power will be z is replaced by this particular factor, so m should come here also. So if I take this one, so this will be wm to the power of I m. Okay, and what is this? Both are m in the subscript and superscript, so this value will be 1. Prudel factor will be 1. Why? Because e to the power j 2 pi m upon m, so m will get cancelled, e to the power j 2 pi is simply 1. Okay, so that will be 1. So we are remaining with only h of z. Now we can take h of z outside. So h of z multiplied by 1 by m, and inside you remain with I equals to 0 to m minus 1 x of c to the power 1 by m w m to the power of minus I. Now second identity is also same as first one. Okay, so this is also proved in time domain as well as frequency domain. Now we'll take the second noble identity for interpolation. So for interpolation, so let me write it as for interpolation identity. So for interpolation, there are two identities. So first you pass through the filter h of z and then interpolate it by a factor of I. So this will be some output. So let's call this as x of n, this will be y of m. Oh sorry, so I did a mistake here, because since we are down decimating here, so h of n is the initial sample, so obviously there will be not n sample, there should be m samples, right? Because here also should be m, because anyhow we are downsampling it, right? So we are dropping some samples, so index cannot be same. Okay, please note that other things are same. Now same thing we can use it for interpolation. So this is the first identity, and equivalent identity says that you first interpolate it. Okay, when you interpolate it, what will happen? When your input is x2 of n, so your interpolation is n will change to m. Okay, m will change to m, right? And then you are passing through a filter. So here the previous case you saw that we have to multiply by some factor. Okay, so here also we have to multiply by factor I, and this is also y of m. Now we are saying that these two systems are equivalent. Now you have to prove it actually. Okay, so why we are studying these identities? Because these are noble identities, and it is very useful when we implement these multivariate systems, right? So often you have to interchange these interpolation operations and this filtering operation, so that the output still remains same, and you can go for a efficient implementation, right? So let's start with let's call here the output is v1 of n. Okay, so what is v1 of in the frequency domain we will implement? So v1 of z will be x1 of z times h of z. Okay, and y of z will be simply here to interpolate it. So in the frequency domain the output will be v1 z to the power of I. So in time domain interpolation is n by m, in frequency domain it will be z to the power I. Okay, just substitute the value of v1, so we will get x1 z to the power I and h z to the power I. So this will be the output from first case. Okay, now for the second system, v2 of z, so that is x of z to the power I, that is given to you, and y of z will be v2 of z multiplied by h of z to the power, okay, I. Just substitute the value of v2 of z. So if I substitute it, x of z to the power I multiplied by h of z to the power I. So this is the output in the second case. So if you just compare the first system and the second system, both are same. So this is proved actually. Okay, this is proved. So this is proved in z domain. Okay, so this is proved in z domain. Okay, and now you know already that it is very easy to implement it using time domain. You can prove it using time domain as well. Okay, so that I am not going to prove. Okay, now we will see that how can we actually use this polyphase structures in efficient implementation design. Okay, so to see that, let's take with one example. So first, now we will see some efficient implementation. So why did we study all these identities and these interconnections, right? So you will come to mind that these identities should be used somewhere, right? So give some example, it will be more clear that how can we use these noble identities. So this will be efficient implementation sampling rate conversion. So let's say that you have x of n, which is input, with some sampling rate f of x, and you pass through the filter h of z and then downsample it, right? So this is a complete process is decimation. Okay, so this will be y of m, where y of m is the decimated output whose frequency is, sample frequency is fx by m. Okay, so this will be v1 of n. Okay, now the problem here is the filter is operating at some high frequency rate. So let's say that the filter is operating at this particular rate. Okay, because now the filter is operating at this rate. So we need only alternate m samples. Okay, because so unnecessary we are wasting the computation power for filtering process, and this filtering process is working on a higher sampling rate. Okay, obviously the fx is higher. Okay, but in the output we need only m samples, so we need to process only m samples, alternative m samples. We no need to process completely all samples in xn, right? But we are unnecessary wasting the computation power in this filtering process, right? So what we can do actually, so the logical solution will be that you apply a structure which will only compute the output samples we need. Okay, so if we compute that output samples, then we can only apply the filtering on those particular samples, right? So to see that, what we will do, this complete decimation we will first replace it by a polyphase structure. So let me replace it by a 3 component polyphase structure. So first component will be P0, power will be 3, and then downsample it. Okay, so this filter is, I have replaced it by 3 component polyphase structure. So this will be P1 of z to the power 3, and then you are downsampling it by a 3. So m, I have taken 3 here. And in the third case, this will be P2 of z to the power 3, and then we are downsampling it by a 3. Okay, so this will be your x of n, so this will be your y of n. So please take some time and reflect that really this just converting this h of z by this polyphase structure, really is it efficient? So the things which will come to your mind is that although we are doing some parallel computation, but still we need to compute all samples, right? The only thing is we are able to compute it parallelly, so that we can reduce the time, but hardware structure is still same, right? Because we need to compute all the coefficients value. Now when we use those identities which we studied, so which says that you can replace the filter and decimation in such a way. So if I just bring the downsampling process before the filter, so the filter will become 1 by of m, right? So it was 3, now it will become 1 by 3, right? So 3 will get cancelled, so it will be simply P0 of z. Okay, so this will be z inverse. Then next we have replaced or interchanged the decimation process and the filtering process, and this will be your third one. This will be P2 of z. and this will be y of m. Okay, so when you compare this particular structure, when we use the identities, what we see here that we just have to, we first downsampled it. Downsampled it means we have reduced the samples here. Okay, now we have only 1/3 samples as compared to the original number of samples, and now we are operating on the reduced samples, right? So definitely the computation power requirement is less. Okay, the same thing we can apply it for interpolation as well. So we know that let's say that we are actually first interpolating it. General interpolation is what? First we interpolate it, and then to avoid that replicas which are coming, we have to pass through a filter. Okay, this we have to pass through a filter. Okay, so here the sampling rate was f of x, here the sampling rate has increased, I times f of x. Now we are operating the filter even at a higher sampling rate, right? This is not desirable. So what we can do, we can use again the identities after converting this h of z into polyphase structure. So please note that this is possible because of polyphase structure. Okay, so because of polyphase structure only we could able to change that interpolation operation and the filtering operation. So what we can do here, so when we interchange it, so right now we are not interchanging, first I am just rewrite the h of z in polyphase structure. So first take I equals to 3. So first we will apply the upsampling. So this will be my first polyphase component. So power will be 3 here, and there will be here also there will be 3. Here it will be 3. This is the second polyphase component. This will be p1 to the power of z3. This will be p to the power of z3, and here z inverse will come. Okay, please note that z inverse was here in the case of decimation, now it is here, and this will be your output y of m. Now using noble identity we can interchange these upsampling and polyphase components. So when we use the interpolation identity, we can rewrite this structure as p0 of z, then upsample. So what we are doing, we are operating the filter at a lower sampling rate, right, and then we are upsampling. Okay, but output is still same, there is no change in the output. So here there is a z inverse, here also there is a z inverse, so I can just rewrite it here. Okay, so this will be your y of m, this will be x of n, right? So you can see that how efficient it is to use polyphase structure. Now I will give an example for homework, so you can actually solve it or make the polyphase decomposition. So let's say that your filter is given as h of z, that is 1 upon 1 minus e to the power z to the power minus 1. So what we have to do, you have to determine h0 of z and h1 of z. So basically you have to decompose into two polyphase components using polyphase decomposition. Okay, so when you decompose it, just you have to give the value of h0z and h1 of z. So please compute that.